Hi grade 7s, welcome to part 3 of lesson 12. In the previous lesson we spoke about surface area. In this lesson we're going to speak about volume. Now surface area was the area of the outside of the shape. Now volume is how much space is inside the shape. So it says volume is the total amount of space that a 3D object or a solid takes up. We measure volume in millimeters cubed, centimeters cubed, meters cubed, and kilometers cubed. So please remember, surface area is square and volume is cubed. Okay, so take note of the following. So we know from grade 4 that 1 centimeter equals 10 millimeters. So, in other words, 1 centimeter cubed, now remember cube means you're multiplying it with itself 3 times, means 1 centimeter times 1 centimeter times 1 centimeter. So we just expanded it, that's all we did. Which is the same as saying 10 millimeters times 10 millimeters times 10 millimeters, because now we're just converting these centimeters to millimeters, because we know there are 10 millimeters in a centimeter. So therefore, we know that 1 centimeter cubed is equal to, then 10 times 10 is 100, times 10 is 1,000. So take note of this. 1 centimeter cubed is equal to 1,000 millimeters cubed. So that is very, very important, that little conversion over there. Okay, same with centimeters and meters. We know there are 100 centimeters in a meter. Now I'm not going to explain this method. It's exactly the same as this method. So when we cube it, 1 meter cubed is the same as saying 100 times 100 times 100, which is 1 million centimeters cubed. So this is just basically if they ask you to convert between volume measurements. So please make sure you know that out of your head. Alright, now a cube, same diagram as in the previous lessons. We know it's length, length, and length. So to work out the volume of this cube, we're going to say length times length times length, which is the same as saying length cubed. But I know a lot of you don't like to work with exponents, so you're welcome to write it out like this. Then our rectangular prism, we've got our 3 dimensions, length, width, and height. Again, we're going to multiply all 3 of those together. So their volume equals length times breadth times height. Again, remember width and breadth are the same thing. So you can use a W or a B, it doesn't matter. Then any other prism, so for example, a triangular prism or a pentagonal prism, hexagonal, anyone. To work out the volume of these prisms, it's always the area of the base or the end face, I should have rather said end faces, times height. Okay, so if it was a triangular prism, you'd work out the area of one of the triangles and you'd multiply it by height. So this is to work out the volume. So let's apply these in examples. So example 1 says, calculate the volume of a rectangular prism with dimensions 4 meters, 10 meters, and 7 meters. Okay, so now remember, first thing, you can label length, width, or length, breadth, and height on these numbers. So let's say I'm going to use length is 4. I'm going to use the breadth or the width as 10, and then the height as 7. So it always helps you to label so that you don't get confused when you're working in your equation. So remember, we always start by rewriting the formula. So the formula of a rectangular prism, length times breadth times height. Then you substitute in your values. So it's 4 meters times 10 meters times 7 meters. And now you work out your answer. So you can say 4 times 10 is 40. Times 7, you're welcome to work it out on the side, is equal to 280 meters cubed. Because we have 3 values, there must be a little 3 as your exponent. Okay, let's check the next example. Right, example 2 says calculate the volume of a cube with 5 centimeter sides. Now remember, a cube only has L, the length, because all the lengths are exactly the same. So we start off by rewriting our formula. Volume equals length times length times length. Substitute in your value. So that's 5 centimeters times 5 centimeters times 5 centimeters. 5 times 5 is 25 times 5 is 125 centimeters cubed. Once again, 3 values, 3 as your exponent. Guys, one thing to take note of, please, please, please don't make the mistake of adding. So it's not 5 plus 5 plus 5. So your answer is not 15. It's multiply. So you multiply the first two, you get your answer, then you multiply the last one. Right, and the last one. This is a bit of a tricky one. This should be example 3. Just fix that for me. Right, it says calculate the volume of the cube if one of its faces has an area of 100 meters squared. So in other words, we've been given a cube. Let me quickly do a rough sketch. You're welcome to do a rough sketch in your tests or exams. So there's my cube. Now they say the area of one of the faces. So let's take the top face. Okay, is 100 meters squared. Now, this is when properties of 3D shapes come in. So a cube, you would know, all have the same dimensions. So if it was 1, 1, 1 or 3, 3, 3, all of them have to be the same. So in this case, we know that to work out the area of a square is length times length. So in other words, 2 times 2 or 3 times 3. So they've given us the area of this face. They tell me this face is equal to 100 meters squared. So we need to come up with what the length of this cube is. So we need to find a number that multiplies with itself, in other words, length times length, that gives me the answer of 100 meters squared. So if you say 5 times 5, that's equal to 25. So that's way too low. You go a bit higher, you can say 8 times 8, that's 64. It's still too low. However, if we choose 10 times 10, we get the answer of 100. So we figured out that the length of a side of the cube is 10 meters. Okay, so we found a number that multiplies with itself to get 100. Okay, so that's what it says here. If the area of a face is 100 meters squared, it means that the dimensions of the face are 10 meters by 10 meters. This means that the length of all the sides is 10 meters. That's what we just got. Now we're not done. Remember, they want the volume of this cube. So their volume is length times length times length. So it's 10 meters times 10 meters times 10 meters. 10 times 10 is 100. Times 10 is 1000. Now again, because there are 3 values, there must be a 3 as your exponent. So it's meters cubed. So guys, just a recap. Surface area is the amount of area on the outside of the shape. Volume is how much space is inside of that shape.